Hi everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm Sally and this is my channel, Secret Life of a Seamstress, where I talk all about sewing and making clothes with sometimes some knitting and crochet as well. Thanks so much for joining me today and I hope you're all doing really well. So today is a continuation of another makes video. So I'm going to be sharing some things that I have been sewing recently. A week or two ago I did put up a makes video which was a kind of part one to the things that I've been making over the last couple of months. I have been sewing loads recently. We do have a holiday coming up at the time of filming this and I was really trying to get some makes done and finished so that I could take them away with us because we are going abroad, so we're likely, hopefully, to have some hot sunny weather, which we're definitely not really having here in the UK at the moment. So yeah, I really wanted to use that opportunity to take away a few summery items. So I have quite a little variety of things to share today. So I've got a couple of things that I made for my daughter. And then a few other things as well. I won't tell you what they are because then I'll spoil the surprise. So before I get started, I normally share with you what I'm wearing today. Today I'm not actually wearing anything handmade. I've been out this morning and just went to have my hair cut. So I was just wearing this ready to wear t-shirt and I decided to just keep it on because I was nice and comfy. So yeah, no handmade items to share with you from what I'm wearing today, but I do have lots of other handmade things to share. So in no particular order, I think I'll start first of all by sharing with you my Reef Set by Nielsen. So I can't find the pattern for this at the moment, which is a little bit worrying. I couldn't find it on my pattern trolley upstairs and I thought it might be down here in the cupboard behind me, but I can't find it there either. So I'm really hoping that that's going to turn up soon. So in the meantime, I'll just pop in an image of the Reef set. This is by Nielsen. It is a pyjama set, but it can also be worn as loungewear as well. Depending on the type of fabric that you make it from and whether or not you want to wear it out of the house. So I decided that I wanted to make myself a new pair of summer pyjamas. This was actually on my list of 5 patterns I wanted to buy and make for spring and summertime this year. So I'm really pleased to have got this one made up. So if you've not seen the Reef Set by Nielsen, it's a really lovely set. So it comes with a camisole pattern, just one standard camisole pattern. It has quite wide straps, a lovely V-neck, and then the back of it has a lovely sort of crossover yoke detail. And the top is cut on the bias as well, so it's really nice and floaty and it should be nice and comfortable to wear. And then there are 2 options for shorts you can sew. So you can sew like a standard elasticated waist pair of shorts with a straight leg, or you can make them a little bit more involved and you can add on the sort of cuff at the bottom. This pair of shorts is actually curved at the hem and it has a pair of pockets in it as well. So for this version, the first version that I've made, I actually went for the standard pair of shorts, nice simple pair of straight shorts. I had heard that the curved shorts did come up quite small, so I thought I would start with the standard pair and see how I got on with those. So here's how my set turned out. I am really pleased with how this turned out actually. It was such a lovely sew and very quick to come together actually. I really enjoyed the whole thing. It was just a really nice sort of morning project. I got the whole thing done, in a morning. It came together really quickly. So I was between sizes on this pattern and I did have a bit of a to and fro as to what size to cut. And in the end, I went for the smallest size on the top. And then I think I went for the second size on the bottom based on my hips and waist measurement. I sewed my set up from a lovely cotton seersucker fabric which I picked up from Sew Me Sunshine, and I think this is such a lovely fabric for this set. It just worked really well, and the seersucker is it's cotton, but it's really nice and silky, so it doesn't have the sort of crispness that you sometimes get with cotton. It feels as though it will be really soft and comfortable to wear. I haven't actually worn these yet because I didn't want to wear them before I'd put them in a video, which might sound silly, but I just wanted them to be all nice and sort of newly made. So hopefully you can see that it has this lovely kind of curved high-low hem. And then the front of the camisole is just a plain V-neck. It's all finished with a nice facing inside, so everything's nice and neat and tidy. And then at the back, you've got this pretty sort of crossover yoke detail. So yeah, very quick and easy to sew, really nice. I found the cutting out of this to actually be more complicated than the sewing. And I think that's just because the back and front are actually cut on the bias so that they drape nicely over your body and they feel comfortable for movement when you're sleeping and things like that. And the pattern pieces to cut on the bias just felt absolutely huge. So I felt as though I was having a bit of a job to cut everything out neatly, but I got there in the end. And then these are the shorts. I love these shorts actually, and I've since heard from other people that these can be quite addictive to make because they're really quick and easy to whip up. I think if you got used to making these, you could probably sew them in about half an hour, 45 minutes. They're very quick and they're just in a really nice shape actually. So these ones aren't too short, or on me they're not anyway. They're quite a low rise, so they come to a high hip rather than sort of high waisted, and I think that's quite nice and comfy for bed. And obviously when you're wearing a longer top, it's quite nice to have more of a low rise shorts. So even with this pair of standard short leg shorts, straight leg shorts, you can see that the back leg is slightly lower than the front leg. So they've got some really nice shaping in there as well. But yeah, it was just a lovely morning sewing on a rainy day. I just really enjoyed the whole thing, and I would highly recommend the pattern. It's just really nice and really simple, but it has that little bit of interest with the yoke as well. So that's the first make. Next, I've got another dress to share with you. So I couldn't stop at one Darling Ranges / Davenport hack. I had to try and make another one. And you might recognise this fabric because I did share it recently in a fabric haul video saying that I wanted to make a SOI Pippa dress from it. It was really weird. Something about that sort of pattern and fabric combination just wasn't working for me. And a few times I'd gone to cut that dress out and just been like, oh, I just don't feel like I want to make that. It just didn't seem right. Then after I'd made my maxi length version of the Darling Ranges dress with the Davenport frill sleeves, I just felt as though I wanted another version of that, but without the sort of tiered maxi skirt, so much more relaxed, a really nice sort of cool summer dress that I thought would be great for a hot holiday. So here it is, and I do think actually that this style of dress actually works better for me with this fabric, and I'm really pleased that I went with my gut feeling. So yeah, I've just used the standard Darling Ranges dress pattern by Nielsen, another Nielsen pattern. I'll pop the image in here if you haven't seen it, and of course I'll link it down below. But I've just made the standard Darling Ranges dress bodice, and I've made it sleeveless. To make the dress sleeveless, I just do a standard sort of sleeve alteration and take in the shoulder seam by 1.5 centimeters and grade down to the armhole, and it just makes it sit that bit higher on your shoulder, which is more flattering for sleeveless dress. And then I've added in the frill from the Davenport dress by Friday Pattern Company. And then I've just used the standard Darling Ranges dress skirt piece, but I've cut it much longer. So I did cut this really long initially because I wanted to see whether or not I wanted another maxi dress or whether or not I wanted to cut it to midi length. In the end, I decided to cut it up to midi length, so I took more again off of the length. And then I've just put the ties on at the back as well to bring it in. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. It's just a lovely light summer dress, and I felt as though I needed something like that in my wardrobe. A lot of the dresses that I have already are midi length, and some of them can feel quite heavy, I suppose, because they've got sleeves and things. So I think this sort of flutter sleeve is just really nice, and it'll be really nice and cool on a hot day. So yeah, that's that one. This fabric is lovely. It's from Minerva. I did have loads of questions about this when I posted it on Instagram. I don't think they've actually got this colourway available on Minerva. If they have, then I'll link it down below. It's a really pretty green colour with a nice little pink ditzy floral print all over it. So yeah, really pleased with that one as well. Next, in time for my holiday, I managed to get my white linen Logan Shacket sewn up. I was going to say Darling Ranges dress again then. So yeah, I did mention that I wanted to make this lovely white linen Logan Shacket. It's one of the versions I wanted to make for this year. I do have many already. So again, I'll just pop in the Logan pattern here if you haven't already seen it, but I've talked about it so much here, I won't go into all the details again. So yeah, this was just a standard version of the Logan, but for this one I just decided to take the yoke out because I didn't really feel as though it needed it with just this plain white fabric. And yeah, I'm really pleased with this as well. So for this version, I'm planning to just use it as a pool or a beach cover up really, but I do think it will go really nicely over shorts. So I've got some sort of casual pairs of shorts, drawstring waist type ones that you just wear around the pool or at the beach or whatever, and I think it would just go really nicely over a vest or a swimsuit or something like that. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I think the only thing I'd say with the fabric that I've used here, this is a linen viscose from Stoff and Still, and it is a really lovely fabric, but I do think that for what I want to wear it for, so say being a pool and beach cover up, I could have gone a bit lighter with my fabric choice. This is quite heavy, so if it is really hot, it's going to keep you probably a bit warm. So I could have gone for like a voile or something like that, and that maybe would have been a bit lighter. So if you're looking to make something similar, and I know a few people did say that they like the idea and they're thinking about making one themselves, if you are doing it for the same reason as me, then maybe consider sort of lightening your fabric up a little bit. But anyway, I am pleased with this, and obviously I'm going to want to wear it back here in the UK as well, and our weather is never really very hot for long here, is it? So I think this will work really well for me just over plain dresses and jeans and things like that as well. So this doesn't have any buttons on it at the moment actually. The reason for that is that I can't actually find any that I'm happy with. So I'm on the hunt for buttons, but I'm actually wondering whether to just leave them off because I never really button the shirts up anyway, and I'm not sure if it really needs it just as a pool and beach cover up. I can just wear it open like that really, can't I? So I think if I haven't found any buttons by the time I go on holiday, I'm just going to take it like that and it'll be fine. And then if I happen to find any buttons that I fall in love with later on, then I can add them at a later date. So next I'm going to move on to something that I've been making for my daughter. So I did share that I was going to have a go at making her a playsuit for our holiday. So I haven't actually made anything for her for quite some time now actually. So it was really nice to have a look for a pattern for her. She's 11 now. So her style is kind of changing now from the little dresses and things I used to make for her when she was little to a more grown-up style. So we found this pattern together. It's a new look tweens easy pattern, and it's a pattern for a jumpsuit or a playsuit, and there's two different dress versions as well, but they all have the same kind of bodice. So the bodice just has this ruffle detail here, and it's elasticated, and you can wear it either on or off the shoulder like the girl is wearing in the picture. So initially my daughter did ask me to make the shorts version here, and she wanted it made from a yellow gingham. So here is our first version. This is the sort of test version, I guess, that I made up. Again, as I'm finding quite a lot lately, I did have a problem with the sizing. So the pattern went from an age 10 up to an age 12, and her measurements were kind of in between the two. And I took a gamble and I made her the age 10, hoping that it would be big enough. But actually when I sewed up this playsuit and she put it on, it does fit her, but she could definitely do with a little bit more room around the crotch area. So yeah, unfortunately, I think this will be okay for this summer and she'll probably be able to wear it this summer. Yeah, I definitely needed to size up for making this one again. So hopefully you can see the details here. This was such a quick and easy pattern to whip up actually because it's all elasticated. It came together really quickly. And I traced out the pattern and everything because I wasn't sure on the sizing. So yeah, it has this ruffle detail at the top. I've used quite bright bias binding inside here because when I was reading through the pattern, I couldn't quite work out how this ruffle worked. And how it all came together with the elastic and everything. And I didn't quite realise how visible this would be. So even though it's not too bad when it's on, you can obviously see the darker bias binding through the yellow when it's not on. So basically you bias bind the armholes here and then you fit the ruffle in. And then you use the bias tape to make an elastic channel from, and that's what forms your sort of your shoulders. So yeah, it did come together very quick and easily, and I was pleased to have made this as a kind of test version just so that I could see how it all went together and everything and test the fit. So yeah, that was version 1. So after I made that version, even though she was quite happy with it, I decided that I wanted to have a go at the bigger size and make her another version. So she decided that for the second version, she wanted to go for the full jumpsuit with the trousers. So we went shopping for some other fabric for a trouser version, and this is the second version that I made using the same pattern. This is so funny, it looks absolutely huge on the hanger, and we were joking that I could probably fit in this, but I can't actually. But the legs did look absolutely huge. So for this version, I've actually made the age 12, and this fits her so much better. And then because I knew what I was doing with the binding and everything, this time instead of using shop bought binding, I've actually made the binding myself, which just looks so much neater. So that's how it looks on the inside. So I've just used my own sort of bias tape to create the elastic channel, and it doesn't show half as much from the outside now, and it looks so much neater, and it's much more forgiving if your sewing isn't particularly accurate, say, or if you're binding and the armholes isn't that neat, you know, you can't see it half as much when you've got self binding as you can with a shop bought one. So yeah, we're so pleased with this, and yeah, it fits her so nicely and it looks really cute as well. So the legs are actually elasticated like that at the bottom, so they come in sort of a tapered leg at the bottom. And then we've got the elasticated waist, and this fabric was actually from Hobbycraft. We're really lucky because the Hobbycraft near us has actually started stocking some dressmaking fabrics now. So they've got some viscoses and lots of other lovely fabrics. And yeah, I picked up this viscose, I think it was about £8 a metre. And it just works really nicely, and it actually works better than the yellow gingham because it's got a bit of drape to it. So I think she feels much more comfortable in this one as well, and it'll be nice and floaty and cool, hopefully, for the holiday. So yeah, that was that one. It was really nice to make something for her as well, and now hopefully I have a little pattern that will be really useful in the future, because I think the dress version of this looks really nice as well. So I'd really like to have a go at that in the future too. And then lastly, I just thought I would quickly share something that I don't think I've ever shared as a finished make on here. I think I may have shown it in progress, but not as a finished make. So just for the purpose of including all of my makes in this video, I will share with you this Patina blouse, which I finished a good couple of months ago now, and I'm really pleased with. So this is a long sleeved Patina blouse. The Patina blouse is by Friday Pattern Company. It's definitely one of my favourite patterns. I just love the design of it. So it's a blouse. It has this lovely sort of pointed vintagey style collar, a nice V-neck, quite a low V-neck. It buttons up fully, and then the back has the burrito method at the back. So you've got a gathered yoke here and then a lined sort of upper yoke here. And then you can make it either short sleeves, or you can make it with a long sleeve and a cuff, gathered cuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed the whole process of making this up. As I say, I just really enjoy the patina pattern. It comes together so nicely, and it's just one I feel you can slow down and really enjoy the little details on. And this fabric is such a beautiful fabric as well, by Fabric Godmother. It's a crepe, and it's just got this lovely pretty pink vintage print all over it, lovely floral print. And I haven't actually worn this one yet, because when I finished it we did come into some quite warm, sort of more summery weather. But I think this will be really useful for coming into autumn time and things like that. I've got one other version of the Patina blouse which I wear all the time if we just go out for dinner or for sort of a smart casual event. It just comes out a lot, so I knew I needed to make another version of that at some point. And then lastly, I just wanted to share with you something that I've got going on in progress at the moment. I have finally started and I've been getting on with a Sew Over It Pippa dress. So this was another pattern that was on my 5 new patterns to make for spring and summer. So I need to be getting on with that 5 now. So yeah, finally halfway through this. Well, actually it's nearly finished now. I've got it to the stage where it's been hanging on the door overnight, because it needs to be left to hang so that you can level off the hem and just straighten up anything that's dropped or anything. So yeah, I've just got to level the hem, and then I've got to add the buttons to the front panel here. This is my latest Minerva make actually, one of my brand ambassador makes for them, and this lovely viscose is so pretty, isn't it? I love it. Is a Minerva exclusive print. I was really lucky to be able to get some of this print. Normally their lovely fabrics get snapped up really quickly, but yeah, I was lucky that time I managed to get some of this. So Yeah, this is nearly finished. I can't wait to have this done. So I'm not going to talk too much about the process of making this and everything. I will be including this in another video soon. When it's all finished, I'll show it to you and everything and talk about how I found the pattern and things like that. I did have to do a little bit of grading for this one as well, which seems to be the norm at the moment. So yeah, I'll talk all about that in a future upcoming video, but I just thought I'd give you a little sneak peek of what I'm working on. Can't wait to have this done and in my wardrobe because I think it's a good one, and it's a little bit of a different style for me as well, which I think is good. It will take me away from the kind of button down dresses that I keep making at the moment. So that's that too. Okay, so I think that's everything I have to catch you up on makes wise, everything that I've been making recently. I've so enjoyed sewing for summer this year and I've really loved what I've been making. It's been a good fun summer, I think, for makes, and I've really been enjoying sewing again, which, as I said before, it does sound silly to say that, but I think sometimes sewing can become a bit more like a habit rather than something that you actually enjoy. And I've really been trying to just enjoy the process more and work, you know, just enjoy working with the fabric and the whole process. And yeah, it's just been really nice. So I hope you enjoyed seeing what I've been sewing today. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love you to consider subscribing. And if you have enjoyed the video, please do give it a like as well. Otherwise, take care everyone, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.